Hello, and welcome to the Cancer Journey podcast. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Sherry Ann.
So we'll start with Pesh just to get grounded, and I can go first today.
Okay.
Okay, so physically, I'm a 4.3. Emotionally, I'm a 4.4. Spiritually, a 3.75, and hope is a 4.25, and my word is drained.
Mm. Okay. So physically, I am 3.85, emotionally 4.2, spirit, 4.6. Oh, hope 4.45. And my word is anticipating.
Okay, well, today we're going to start talking about asking for help. It's a huge topic and it feels very general, but it is something that a lot of us struggle with because um, sometimes we equate asking for help as a sign of weakness or giving up or um, just like a something negative, as if we're not able or capable of holding something ourselves. And we want to emphasize that that's just absolutely not true.
Right. Because we are connected. We're all connected. We've talked about that before. And so we're not supposed to do everything. We're not equipped to do everything. And that's why we're connected, like that universal puzzle I like to talk about. We do what we do really well. And we need to go to the connecting part or the other piece of the puzzle that does what they do really well so that we can become more of a whole. And that's just kind of like the big picture of why asking for help is really more of a connecting thing.
You have connectedness in your top 10, don't you? Of your
I
strength.
don't. I
Oh,
don't.
interesting.
Yeah. But then I have woo and I have relator. So somewhere in there it's all about connection.
I think it's more of your belief too, because you have that
Yes.
core value that resonates.
Yes.
So as I was just, you kept saying connected, and I was like, do you have that? Yes, absolutely. And I see it. It's funny because I don't see it through the lens of connectedness, though I do strongly believe in that deep connection that we have and that we are part of that universal puzzle. For me, it's also that like we can't be everything, and we are not everything. Um, and we need to ask for help because we don't have the resources to do absolutely everything. I mean, this world has gotten very complicated. It's a very complex world that has a lot of demands and asks a lot of us. And so for us to think that we're able to carry all that weight completely by ourselves feels um it's not even that it's selfish, it feels like lonely to think that we have to do
Yeah.
that. And it feels heavy to think that we have to know everything or do everything, and think that having resources means we have those skills, whereas having resources is also the ability to ask for help in many different ways. Like that in itself is a resource, that ability.
Yeah. And I just want to take the word help and kind of break it down a little bit because I think that's what triggers us. Um, I see this in my mind, this little person. I don't know why that person's little, just a little person holding up a sign that says, help. And it almost has that energy of acquiescence, little victimy, like, and small. It has that small perception for me. Anyways, when I hear the word help versus the word assistance or support or collaboration or coactivity, there's something that is much more. Positivity is my number one strength. So a little more positive in its definition or its interpretation bias. I don't know what help means to you. I'd love to know that after I kind of share what I think. Um, but in that space of collaboration and assistance and resources, I mean, you said it. It's like we're not supposed to be everything. and how lonely it is to think that we should handle everything. When I go to collaboration, ooh, I get kind of excited, right? Because that means I matter equally as much as somebody else, but you have your piece and I have my piece, and we're coming together to create a bigger picture, which might be, in fact, my vision of what I want. And I can't get there without struggle, especially by myself. It's like climbing the rope all by myself. But if we're all have our ropes and we're all climbing to that vision, then oh, it's so much easier because I'm not carrying anything else below me as I'm trying to climb up that rope.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I think too that when we're in a space where we do need to ask for help, we're often doing like a lot. And so we think that there's just this connotation for me that like if you need help, it's a problem and that you
Mm.
should. There are all those shoulds that come up, right? Which are very much negative ego. Anytime a should come up, your negative ego is being loud. And so it's like, oh, I should be able to figure out myself. But something that would take me 7 steps to get to because I also have to do the research behind it and all this stuff could be cut in half with the help of someone else and someone else's expertise in that region. So I think that just psychologically, like in my brain, I feel like if I have to ask for help, sometimes it feels like I'm giving up and I'm wrong and I'm incapable and I'm giving my power away or things like that when really the product can become so much better than I could have ever anticipated when I work with other people. I mean, I love asking for help. I am such a proponent for that, and I have Maximizer in my top 10 strengths. I don't know why I'm leaning into strengths so much right now, but I'm gonna go with it. And Maximizer really wants like the best possible product. Often people who have Maximizer tend to lean a little bit more perfectionisty. So there's so many different ways that you can leverage this strength that you know that you have. And so for me, instead of feeling like I have to perfect something on my own, I can just try to get the best quality, whatever it is, for myself by asking for help and using the other resources that I know other people have, or even just getting like a little bit of advice that maybe I wouldn't have had before. Some like insight into like a field that I don't know, or something someone can tell me that opens my options up instead of thinking small and just on my own. And there's something that happens, like the magic that happens in that collaboration. Because when you're talking about collaboration, um, not only do you get to share your ideas and get feedback, but you get someone else's, and then you can continue to add and build and grow into something that you seriously could not have done on your own.
Yes, yes. And let me bring that now back to the cancer journey. So when you are diagnosed, and even if you are a specialist in cancer, because cancer support, medical support is made up of all different specialists because there's so many different kinds of cancer that one person can't know all of them. So you need a team. You'll want a team, but it's not just your medical team, which I think is where everyone's focused on. So it's like, okay, I'm assembling my medical team and they're going to tell me what to do versus let me put together a team that I'm a part of. So I'm part of the mix of this team trying to get to the goal of my dare I say, excellent journey through the cancer experience, which addresses all of me. So now here we go with the medical team that we're deploying and assembling. And then there's the other parts that we do at the Cancer Journey Institute, which is let's look at your mental health. Let's look at your emotions. Let's look at your spirit, either your spirituality or your spirit with your inner spirit, and have that team also represented. And that's the help because we don't know it all. We don't need to know it all. It's too much. Well, should I say too much work? It's a lot of work to know it all.
Mhm.
And you as the individual and kind of the center of that team has to reserve your energy so that you can do the most important job you're given, which is to heal.
Mhm.
And so you have this team that are helpers along the way to create this almost synergistic healing environment so that you can go through it. We say in the most powerful way that you can show up with these individuals doing the parts that they're really good at, what
Mhm.
they have expertise and knowledge and specialty in.
Yeah. And I will say specifically for the cancer journey that oh, as I started talking, thought flew right out of my head. But I do know what else I was going to respond to this is that a big part of the experience of cancer and just our experiences in general, right, is our perspective that we're in. And our perspective is very mental, emotional. And so when you're in a very mentally, emotionally chaotic situation, you're only seeing through that lens and you can't be the one who breaks yourself through. I mean, I'm not saying that no one does it on their own. I'm sure there are plenty of people who do it on their own, but it tends to take a longer time. It tends to be a harder struggle and more of a burden. I do know we've talked about this in one of the past episodes, but like having a coach has an objective view on what you're experiencing, and so they're able to reflect back what you're giving out. You can't be watching yourself and reflecting back to yourself what you're putting out there because you're doing the thing. You're not watching yourself do it unless you want to like watch a video back of yourself. But again, it's hard to see yourself and reflect back without judgment, where a coach can do that, or someone who is trained to support that mental emotional side more. So it's really important to like have that extra support who can really see you through those things and to ask you the questions that you probably won't ask yourself. um yeah, just having that outside perspective that is not judging you. It's not telling you what you are or what you're doing. It's truly just saying, I notice you're doing this, and being along the journey with you, not telling you what to do by any means, but really listening to you and figuring out what really works best for you. And so once you can start to change that lens, you start to let go of a lot of that stress, um, especially the things that you can and cannot control. And so, like, the impact of just asking for help from one person on this one area of your life can change the impact of everything else and everything else that you're experiencing, because you're taking nuggets from that connection, whether it's someone who is a coach and professionally trained, or if it's even like a friend who's witnessing you, who really sees you and allows you to have that nugget of wisdom too that you wouldn't have otherwise had. um so yeah, having support on the cancer journey is so essential, especially when sometimes like we do feel weak, and it's not a bad thing to admit weakness. It's not a bad thing to say that I am not strong in this area. It's actually a huge strength to be able to acknowledge that and then be able to ask for help, because that's the only way you can grow and improve, right? Like we don't learn on our own, truly. Like if you're learning because someone's teaching you, you're learning from a book or an article that someone already wrote, or maybe a podcast that someone's reading to you, you're looking at a research paper, like you're taking that information from someone else. Not in a bad way, in a great way, but all sorts of learning and growth and evolution really takes the help of someone else being present to offer you that next step.
Well said. So much there. So what was coming up for me was like, let's talk about, and you tapped on it a little bit. What happens when I don't ask for help? What do I experience? And I know that, we're supposed to be the warrior. We're supposed to be strong and pull it all together. Isn't that just already when you hear those words or those phrases, it's like, oh, that's so much responsibility on me. And I can already feel the heaviness on my shoulders and the aloneness you spoke of and the that fight against, no, I'm not weak, no, I'm not small, I want to prove, I want to show that I can do this, really is not in our best interest. that it's the harder path. It's like the boulder being pushed up the hill, where when we're willing and acknowledging that, okay, this is hard. And this is where the emotions come in, right? We feel struggly. We feel exhausted. We feel overwhelmed. We feel like we don't even want to get out of bed. I don't know what that emotion is. Similar to exhaustion, but it's like this overness. If we, I mean, and that's what emotions are here to do, is like, hey, we're going to feel this way because we want you to know too much. You're carrying too much. You need to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. It's not saying anything to anyone other than, I know that I need resources. So if that reframe there shows up, like if I just say, hey, there's a lot of people who can help you. A lot of places that you can get resources. How does that feel? I I'm saying it to myself, and I'm saying it to you, and I'm saying it to you out there. It's like this, oh, this weight, just some kind of that weight on your shoulders just gets lifted. And it's like, okay, so instead of trying to figure out how I do it all, I can look for and use my energy instead for, where are my resources? Who can I ask? First off, what do I want? Because we're so there to solve the problem versus, what is it that I want? Oh, I want I want today to be easy and smooth, and I want to refill myself. Okay, I have this long list of tasks. Who can help me?
Mhm.
It's that simple. It's like, who can help me? Well, I can help myself by saying, maybe I can spread it over more time. Maybe I just don't do it today and listen to what my emotions are saying, like, you're exhausted. Or I can go, hey, best friend, I, I really need to get this done today. I don't have the energy. Can you come over and help me? Hey, sister, I mean, whoever's in your sphere. You can even, if this is your way of doing things, I can hire a housekeeper for the day. Can you come in for a couple of hours? I can't do this. I'm not feeling up to it, but I do have the resources of money. I can bring somebody in. And so just saying that out loud, it's like, oh, I don't have to do it all by myself. It's what comes up. And that feels so good.
Yeah. Yeah. And the recognition and acknowledgement of that too. Like you said, it just releases weight off your shoulders. And the expectation that we were supposed to be able to do it all ourselves, and also take care of the people around us, because let's be honest, that is a huge perspective that people have, is that not only do they have to take care of themselves, they have to take care of everyone around them. When we realize that we can't, and that's just not it's not a personal thing either. It's not a bad thing, um to not be able to carry all of that on your shoulders. It's actually a good thing to acknowledge that you need help. You need help from the people who are there, and there is an exchange. And so that also, ties into what your relationships are. It's never just one-sided. Even if someone's doing a little bit more effort than the other person, there's two parts of that who have a say and who have resources and who have capabilities so that you can help one another. If you have a partner and you're really stressed out and you just need to cuddle for a while or something, or you just need like a really long hug, because we know there is magic in a really, really long hug, then that's something that you can use to refresh you. I mean, it feels really small, but it can still have a big impact. Even someone just to listen to you, right? Like when you're really stressed out or overwhelmed or exhausted, and you're like, I just need to say the meanest things, to just like say them and let go of that energy instead of letting it like revolve right here. And for someone to just be like, okay, a coach is really good for that, because they're really, really, really safe for you to do that. But either way, I say get someone that you feel really safe saying the worst things and know that they won't hold it against you. But sometimes we really need that. I think we need that more than we realize, really. But that is a resource that you then have and something you can ask of someone else to hold for you. Even if you can't, delegate your task list to someone, like there are things that you can do to get that weight off, Like if you're working, you have a project that's due, but you're really overwhelmed right now, you can ask. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to get it, but no one knows that you want and need extra time unless you ask for it. So if you go to your boss or your higher up and you say, "Look, I just can't get this done in this amount of time. Like I need another week to get it done. Is that something that's possible?" If they say no, hopefully they say yes. But if they say no, there are still other options in there. It's like, okay, can someone else join me on this project and help me carry some of the weight? Or can the final product be something a little bit different that isn't as extra or like really big as we were going to make it so that I can meet that deadline? Like there are other ways to go about that and work through whatever the current issue is, but it first takes realizing that there is something that you need help with and that you're not broken, you're not wrong, you're not weak for admitting that. You're human. and what and it means that you care about what matters to you just as much as everyone else should too. Because if you don't recognize and honor the things that matter to you, like your health and your energy and things like that, who else is going to respect those things and uphold them? You have to put you first. And that's really what the asking for help is in service of. It's in service of you and getting everything you want and need so that you can feel healthy in all the different aspects of your life.
I love what you said. I mean, what's coming up for me is the word judgment. We are so judgy of ourselves, and that we don't even recognize it. Like it's that inner critic, it's that inner voice, also a negative ego. But we're so accustomed to it that when it says things like, "Oh, you're just being lazy," that when it was like that hits me in the heart. It's like, no, I'm not. And then the proving wants to come out that I'm like, I'm not lazy. So then what happens? Then I take on more responsibility on my shoulders. And now I'm doing this to myself. And I love when you talk about, you didn't do anything wrong. Um, bring in somebody who can see you. And I actually, in those situations, prefer someone who doesn't know me, like a family member or a best friend, partly because I think they have an agenda for our relationship. I want someone who holds me as a whole. Not that they hold me broken, but they want the best for me, so they want me to feel good. I want someone who's not there just to make me feel good. I want someone there who can tell me exactly what they're seeing, because I can't see that judgment that I necessarily am putting on myself. That in reality is making me work harder instead of not giving myself a break. Because I can do that. But it's like, but then I still need to finish what my goal is. So how do I do this smarter rather than harder? And that
Mm-hmm.
really is asking for help. So it's that inner critic judgment that I need to let go of. Coach is fabulous for that. So hey, coach, give me 10 minutes. I'm hitting a wall, and then saying, okay, what resources are here for me? How can I do this, but in a smarter way? Oh, that just feels so much better because the onerous doesn't feel on me, and I'm not weak or small or lazy because I'm doing it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And that the dichotomy that you're talking about of like either I do it and I'm great or I don't do it and I suck. Right? That's not, those are not your only two options. There are so many more in the middle, and to have someone who's safe to let the way I say it is let off steam off the top, literally venting, to like get that off the top so we can see what's underneath all of the like active emotion, like what's the message that's here for me, um is so helpful. And really it needs to be done in such a safe way. um I'll put it out there now too that it does test relationships if you do try to do it with someone you're close with. So I am absolutely agreeing with you, Sharianne, that like you need someone who is outside of your life and who doesn't have a lot of impact or insight into what you're experiencing and what those relationships are. You need someone who's completely external to be able to let that go, because then there's absolutely no like filter that they could be seeing that through otherwise, and they really just see you, not the impact that's really having on everyone else. Like they can really focus on you here now today and what you want to come next. So it's so important to have a coach. I'm going to do my takeaway. So,
Okay.
my takeaway is asking for help can be really hard, but it's actually a sign of like so much strength and understanding of where you are in this moment. And that it's a sign of respect for yourself that you know that you can handle a lot. That is like a given, in my opinion. Like, you are capable of many, many great things. And to be truly great, you need the support of the people around you who believe in your vision and believe in you and want to continue to uphold that and grow it and build it and be exhilarated with you of the possibilities that can come out of it. um and just who care about how you feel with all of those too, right? Because when you're asking for help, it's usually because you're in a place of like, I can't do it on my own. And so when people come in to help you, it's because they're like, yes, I see you, I see what you need, I'm happy that I can help, pull you out of what feels like a struggle, and can lend you resources and feel, resourceful myself and useful myself. um, and it can strengthen relationships in that way also, and
Mhm.
reset what we think is possible. So always ask for help. Never a bad thing to ask for help, whether you get it or not. It's actually such a gift for yourself. And then my pesh. So physically, I am a 4.3. Emotionally, I'm a 4.5. Spiritually, I'm a 4, and hope is a 4.25. And my word is vibrations.
Okay, so my takeaway is so much is swirling in my head right now. So let's just kind of net this down to one. That the perspective I want to try on myself, and I invite all of you to do that, is you've heard me say this before, permission. Permission for me to ask for help, because the lens that I want to look through is that everybody wants to help. I mean, truly, I think that in the heart of hearts of each individual out there, they want to be needed, they want to contribute, they want to connect. And so asking them to help you makes them feel pulled closer to you and even wanted and valued and needed. I mean, that those emotions are very healing. So if you're asking through that perspective, then it's saying to somebody else, I see your value. I need your help. I need you. And that feels good, because yeah, I need help for me, and I know that I can't do it by myself. But to know that when I'm asking is also helping somebody else, it's just kind of like the added bonus. And my Pesh is physically 4, emotionally 4.25, spirit 4.6, hope 4.5, and my word is possibility.
Okay. I love that you touched on making people feel valuable, by the way. That made me like, yes. Yeah, but thank you for joining us today, and we'll be back next week with a new episode.
Have a lovely rest of your day, and remember, you're more powerful than you realize.